All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elected nation of Israel. And this is going to be a lesson on how social media, movies, the entertainment industry, the sports industry, right? All these different things, how it's made people have a false narrative on what life's supposed to be like, man. And it's created like fake lifestyles and fake people that don't actually really exist, man. And like, it's quite easy. Like with the movie industry, for example, right? This is one thing I noticed. They make these male characters, right, that are like every single positive characteristic that women would desire in this world, right? And they put it in a movie, but then ask a woman if she's actually ever seen this man before in real life, and you would find out no, she hasn't. And in fact, the very man that's acting that role, he's not even that guy himself. Like even down to his accent that he's got in the movie, the accent that he uses, the deepness of his voice, the way how he might look muscular in the movie, like his beard, like the shade of his skin color, whatever, all the way how he dresses in the movie, all the things that the women were liking and desiring in this movie, right? It is not real to that individual man even, and then that's why you'll find out that even in that very same actor's personal life, right, when it comes to a situation with women, he might be catching hell with women. He'll get women, but then at the same time as he gets women, he'll lose them too. He don't just keep those women and then get other women and have multiple wives, right? He'll lose them. Now they'll do this kind of thing for men, like they'll make male characters like that and show them to women in movies to try and make the women have like a false sense of what a man's supposed to be. And it's ultimately, and I'm going to get to the scriptures, it's ultimately a form of witchcraft, man. It's a form of spiritual attack that makes women then now become uncontent with the kind of men that are available to them, right? Or they'll see men on social media and they'll see like pictures or 30-second videos of a person's life, and they'll be like, "Oh, see, look at that lifestyle." When let's say, like, if there's 52 weeks in a year, that's what people say, right? So let's say you took 7 pictures, 7 of your best pictures that you could possibly take once every single week, right? Just only on a Saturday, for example, because that's the most worldly day of this world, right? And you post them on a social media. Now you've got like a good 300 plus pictures by the end of a year, right? Seven times 52, roughly, let's just say it's 350. It's a bit more than that. I think it's like 364 to be exact. I believe it's 364, right? I think so, right? I don't want to overdo it with the math, but I believe it's 364 to be exact, right? And then that will be 364, 350 pictures that get put on that social media. Now people have access to 350 pictures that make you look like you're the most fun person in the world, ignoring the other days in the week, the other 6 days in the week where you ain't doing nothing exciting like that, right? And it gives people a fake idea of what life's supposed to be like. Even social media and how quick you can make money from just going around filming things and doing these things and pranking people that you don't know and all these stupid things, being a streamer, doing foolishness, just drinking alcohol, arguing, saying what you want, gang, and all this dumb stuff. You know, gang this, gang that, just being dumb. And you can make money. That's not real to how the majority of people live. It's not real. But because there's like enough people that people see with that life, it makes people think that, oh yeah, it is real. But it's actually not though. And you wouldn't want to, like, the best way to decide whether something's valuable for society is, okay, if everybody was like that, would the society be a better place? If everyone was a live streamer, would this world even be a good place? Because when they're trying to get people to react according to their live stream, it ain't gonna work because they're gonna be doing a live stream in themselves. So when they're trying to live stream somebody else and get on their nerves or make out like they're an extra in their life, no, now they're gonna roll up on somebody that's now making them extra in their life, and everyone's just gonna have a camera recording them all the time. They're gonna have a selfie stick recording themselves saying, come on, chat," and everyone's gonna be everyone's just gonna be on camera. The camera's gonna be walking around of the live stream, and all you're gonna see is other people with their camera in their hand recording themselves. Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 12, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. And some of these movies are a witchcraft themselves, man. They give an unrealistic way on how this world's supposed to be. And the main people that they can attack with this are women, because men are way more realistic than women. Now, if I was to make a movie, right? If I was to make a movie, have like a 20 million or that to 20 million budget to make a movie, it would not be difficult to make a woman in said movie and make her be so feminine, so attractive looking on the camera. She doesn't even have to necessarily be that attractive in real life. On the camera, she looks like the most beautiful woman in the world, or one of them, right? She's feminine. She carries herself in the most feminine way. She's doing all the things that a man likes in the movie. Now, in reality, that woman could be a complete demon, but you could make her look like she's not in the movie. You see what I mean? The way that you make her look, she don't even really look like that in real life, but in the movie, she look like that. Now, men would be happy to see what that woman looks like in the movie, but they wouldn't believe most of the time that that woman's really like that in real life, right? And they would know that, okay, that woman did that in real life, but it's not really a thing that's actually I'm going to experience in reality though, because that's too good to be true. Now, to take things more of a spiritual level, we are going to experience this thing when it comes to the new covenant and being in the kingdom of heaven. We are going to experience that and have access to these things. But when it comes to just like as far as this world goes, we know we ain't gonna see that, man. We know we ain't really gonna be just rolling around with multiple wives like the scriptures says that is lawful, right? We know that it's not gonna be that, but yet we have something to hope for in the future, and we know that we're gonna get it in the next world. Whereas the way how they push out these things to the women is that they can have it now in this world, all while never having to change, because they'll make a female character that gets a certain man that doesn't have to be a good woman herself to get that man. They'll make a Christmas movie, right? They'll make Christmas movies where the mom has got two men fighting over her. Really, the mom's a hoe, and she's trying to keep her father away from seeing his children. And the next man's trying to move in to take care of the children, and the other guy gets back with her. That's how they make a lot of these so-called Christmas family movies. That's normally the main theme, right? Or it's some man that's doing good in life, and he gets with a single mom and ain't got no kids of himself, but and prepared to, rather than start his own fresh brand new family, he starts with some single mom, right? And then in the last final scenes of the movie, they might show her pregnant, so he takes care of her two burdens, and then and then gets another child as well. And the father normally in prison if it's a Jake movie, or if it's an Edomite one, then they'll make it be some other kind of thing, or he was just working all the time and was never around. That's pretty much the theme of Liar Liar, the movie Liar Liar with Jim Carrey. He was a lawyer and he's just working too much, so he was too busy. But at the same time as him working that much, that's the reason why his family would have been able to have all the things that they have. But they don't put that part in the movie though. They expect the father to be going out working, making all the money, while the mom stays at home. This is what what would desire as the best choice. The man goes out and makes all the money, and at the same time does all the same things that the woman does in the house, and she only has to do whatever she wants to. But then they try and make it like women are slaves. No, women really think that men are slaves, and that's part of the witchcraft of this world, man. Verse 12 again: for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, right? We ain't wrestling against the physical people. We're wrestling against the witchcraft that's made it seem like this is right. And one of the ways that they've pushed these things is through the movies, because it's a visual that people can actually see. It's something that they can actually see with their eyes that makes it seem, yo, okay, this is it. This is okay. And it's really wicked, right? And through the movies and the reality TV and these kind of things, it's gassed women up, man, and it's made them believe that they can be a certain way. Like a lot of these female actors that they make look real good on the movie screen, they don't look like that. But when women see that they don't look like that, they don't think, oh, this is a trick. They think, oh, okay, well, I don't really look like that either. And I won't mind them putting me on camera and making me look like I'm way more attractive than I actually am. Women don't mind the fake reality and deception, because that's what they do with makeup, right? Whereas men, we don't really, as far as what we look like, we pretty much look like what we look like, man. Now we can change it by going to the gym, but then when we go to the gym and change our appearance or we get fit and start doing exercise, we actually really look like that, right? Then if we fall off and start gaining weight again, we really look like that. If when we grow our hair out, if we're receding, we grow our hair and it doesn't look that good, okay, we really look like that, right? But then if we happen to look better when we cut the hair off, guess what? We really look like that. You see what I mean? Whereas when a woman's taking an eyebrow pencil and making her eyebrows look like they're more defined than they actually are, that's not real. When a woman's putting foundation on the face and all these other things that they do that I don't even know the inner depths of, mascara, all these different toners, all these different things, that's not real because it can be wiped off, right? When we go to the gym and start building ourselves up and getting ourselves in strength, if we take a baby wipe and wipe it across our arm, the definition in our arms doesn't disappear. Now, can the definition of our arms look greater if we start training and making blood rush to the muscles? Yeah. And then it will go away for a time. And then it will come back again when we train. But the blood's really in that muscle. It's not fake in that muscle. The blood's really there. You see what I mean? If we look good with a certain haircut, right? Okay, we really actually look good with that haircut. It's not fake, right? It's not a false thing. Now, there's certain things that people can do that men do to fake. They'll get a or they'll rent a car. They might rent an expensive car and go out and trick women into thinking that they've got that car, but and or that they own a car like that. But guess what? In the moment when that even in that sense, right, when that man's actually renting that car, right, he actually really is in that car at that moment. You see what I mean? But that's a close comparison to the things that women do. Or a man might wear fake jewelry or fake clothes, right? Fake like he's got a certain career, fake like he's got more money in the bank than he actually has. So there is ways that men fake these things as well, and this witchcraft has got to men as well, to the point where men are now spraying on hairlines, man. I got to risk my hairlines through, right? I don't think I could go as far to even say I have one, right? But guess what? I ain't gonna be spraying no black paint on my head. I ain't gonna be doing that. I ain't gonna be I ain't gonna be spraying no black paint on my head. I ain't doing that, man. That's embarrassing to me. The thought of doing that's embarrassing, man. You're gonna spray paint on your head to try and impress some men or some women that don't really give a damn about you anyway, and that are fake themselves. That when you actually really look at and really get like it will make you angry when you really actually consider this world, right, and consider all the different things that men are supposed to do to impress these women and prove to their women that they're someone that that woman should accept as being a valuable candidate for them. When you consider that once that man actually finally gets that woman, there's plenty of men that will not have had to do any of those things that that women required him to do. And why is the reason why that's the case? Because she actually really liked those other guys and she didn't really like you. Like the way how this society is actually quite depressing, to be honest with you. That a man can go out and do all kind of different things for a woman, right? And then on one random moment, she can be lusting after one next geezer and go and decide that she wants to be with that geezer instead. And that man has not got no lawful defenses that defend him should she do that. Whereas according to the laws of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, there's the law of adultery. That the woman wants to go and step out of the relationship and go and be with another man. Okay, she's got the right to go and do that. And then the law of the society has got the right to do what happens next, which is in the book of Leviticus, the 20th chapter and the 10th verse. And now two spirits are getting sent back up to the Heavenly Father. Now, that's not what's happening now, and it's not going to be what's happening now, because Yahweh is showing the world this is what it looks like when people don't follow my laws. This is what it looks like when I let things just slide all the time. This is what it looks like when everyone just gets away with being wicked. This is what it looks like. When I allow people to just be wicked, this is what it looks like, man. Yeah? But then he's also going to show this is what it looks like when I don't allow people to get away with these things. I just wanted to talk about that a little bit because it's something that I've seen in some of these movies and some of these TV shows, man. Like the one famous one that these Israelite women have, the Israelite women's love or archetype, man, is that actor from the TV show Power, right? Ghost, he a thug, he's street when he need to be street, right? But he owns clubs and he's doing a business thing and all that, right? But he's street though, and then he's handsome, but he kind of respects his woman a bit. But at the same time, if his woman acts out of line, he's gonna put his foot down, and then at the same time with that, then he's gonna do this as well. And it's like it's bogged out, man. And the movie industry is so wicked, man. I remember this story, right? The movie Boys in the Hood, right? Boys in the Hood with featuring Ice Cube, right? And there's a scene where Ice Cube's brother, I believe he's called Ricky. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, man. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. But there's a scene where where they're running away from a rival neighborhood, rival gang, I guess you could say, right? And there's a scene where the guy pulls out the car and he's got a dual barrel shotgun in the movie, and he's just looking at that guy holding the dual barrel shotgun, and he shoots him in his back, man. And the look that he has in his eyes is heavily demonic, man. Now, that particular actor, the way how I believe the story goes, was actually just a normal guy from a normal neighborhood. I believe even was from the suburbs, even, right? But that movie role that he acted was so demonic, right? And put so much spirits on him that he ended up really living like that because of the movie role that he played, man. There's another one with another TV show. I can't remember what the TV show was called, man. But it was one of them TV shows where the guy's selling drugs and all that, right? With one English character, with one English actor, I mean. I can't remember what the name of it was, but he said when he was trying to get into the role that he was praying and saying, come on, devil, enter into me and all that. And he was like calling upon spirits, man, to try and make him really get into the evilness of that role. You understand? Like even when it comes to some of these serial unalivers characters where these actors play these characters, right? They play these characters and the women love off these characters, but those people were real people that existed that were actually evil, right? And then that shows that women really love wickedness more than men. They're more in tune to the spirit of wickedness because the spirit of wickedness is a spirit of freedom, right? Because to be wicked, you just do whatever you want to do. You can just be free doing all the things that you want to do, right? You don't have to listen to nobody. You don't have to listen to morals. You don't have to reject what you might feel or want to do, your lusts. You don't have to reject none of that because you're just doing what you want to do. Just that Nike, just do it spirit, man. First John chapter 2 and verse 16, verse 15, I mean, love not the world. First John chapter 2, verse 15, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. And one of the things that's in this world is all these movies where they make these fake, unrealistic, like extremely overdone characters, right? That don't actually match the reality of what you see in the world. And then it makes people be like, oh, disappointed with what they see in reality now. And now reality becomes no longer good enough, which is the reason why they're pushing virtual reality so much in this world now, because they want to make it seem like reality is boring and virtual reality is better than reality. But what you should be doing in a society, if that's the case, is making reality better than, right? Don't make the world so through that people would rather just deal with fake world and some avatar online on some character on some game than what actually is happening in the real world where you can smell the things, see them, taste the foods, right? Rather than have a TV video game character that you make eat. No, how about you really eat some food, your real self,
Yeah.
right? That would make more sense, right? Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. And one of that goes into the movie, the social media, all these different things that make the reality of the reality of the world seem boring in comparison to the movies. That's how they've done this world, man, and that's one of the main tricks that they've performed on women, right? Women love all loving up these rappers and these music. Like women love up Chris Brown, right? They love this guy, man. Like Chris Brown could potentially be Absalom or something with how these women love this geezer off, man. He could potentially be Absalom, man. would either love him off. Potentially, who not in this, that wouldn't be a compliment. But the way how these women love this guy, if he's coming like this geezer's Absalom or something, right? But they love this geezer off. But the reality of Chris Brown, they wouldn't actually really like. They like the version of him that they've made in their mind. You see what I mean? They don't actually really love Chris Brown, right? Who he really is when he might not be on camera dancing, saying, "Ooh, whoa, 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 with you," and these hoes ain't loyal or that. They don't like him when he's not being the TV like musician because they don't know him when he's not that. They've got their ideas of what he is according to their mind and how if they was with him, everyone's gonna be thinking, "Wow, she's with that guy, so she must be something special." Or because she's got the best man, she must be the best woman. That's what they got in their mind. That the man that they get makes it seem like they're so much better so that they can really think in their mind that they're the best. Because you'll notice that when they get men that they actually want it themselves, they don't think, okay, that man's allowed more than one wife. And I know that it says it in the scriptures because they know it says it in there. They don't think that they want to try and make him not have other women. They might agree with it for a time, but eventually they don't want it and they don't like it. And they try and throw this system at the men for being like that. But that's his natural way of being, though. But then they don't want to have their natural way of being monitored or changed. They don't think that anything about them should be monitored or changed, but they want to try and monitor and change men. It's the most fascinating thing. And this society is allowed for this to happen. But these are one of the things that you're not supposed to love of this world because it's unnatural. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, that's the movies. And many of the other things that you can see with your eyes, man, that can make you not even believe in what's reality no more, man. Right? The movies is a lust of the eyes. The social media is a lust of the eyes. You're seeing people online. You might see women will see a woman online, right, with different pictures of herself in dresses. She's in a dress and she's in this city. She's in a different colored dress and she's in that city. She's just going around and all these different men are flirting with her, giving her attention and telling her how attractive she is. And she's not having to do anything for them in return. And she just feels safe everywhere she goes. And she might record it and put it online. And they think, oh, wow, look at that life. I would love to live like that. And then it makes her think that her life with her man and her family now is not of any value, right? They might see a movie with a woman that they believe that they're better looking than in the movie, and they might actually be better looking than the female actress in the movie. They might actually be, or they could make themselves look the similar or more attractive with makeup on, and now they'll think that they deserve that lifestyle that's in a movie, but none of the actors or actresses in the movie haven't have that lifestyle because it's not real, because it's something that someone made for a movie, right? Like John Rambo, they ain't really no John Rambo like that in real life. Like the character Rocky Balboa in the movie Rocky. If any professional boxer tried to fight like that, they would not make it to 20 fights in their career. They would have so much damage done to their body. They'd be through, right? They'd be through, man. The referee would have threw in the towel so many times when you watch that Rocky movies. But in the movie, you can make a character like Rocky Balboa and you can make it seem cool, man, because you can like overdo it and it looks good for the movie. You see what I mean? Like John Wick and all that. You can make a John Wick, and it's not to say that there's not mighty men in the scriptures that was taking out loads of men, but like to really do it like how you see them doing in that movie, like that's difficult to do. But you can make a overpowered character and put them in a movie and it looks cool. But then you have to correct yourself and remember that's a movie. You see what I mean? That's a movie. That ain't real. Right? Now, if it comes to somebody making a movie on the mighty men of Israel, King David's mighty men, and you see things and you see that, well, I'd believe that really happened, something similar to that happened. Should somebody make a movie like that, I'd believe it. Because that did happen. And yet still they make fake versions rather than going based on the scriptures. They make a fake version and put that out there that matches the modern times of now, right? To try and make people be uncontent with what's happening in their world and in their life now. You see what I mean? Even down to these musicians, they don't even make the money and have the amount of money that they make themselves seem on the music video version of themselves versus who they really are. Like most of them man have been flown out by some small hat man and done wrong. You understand? They ain't really as masculine as they try and make out. Because a masculine man is not gonna ever in his life make somebody willingly do anything to him, anything to him of a sexual nature. He would never allow that of his own free choice, right? We know that in the past Esau did the book breaking thing on Israelite men, but that was not of those men's choice. They didn't willingly allow that to happen. That was forced upon them in an evil way. You see what I mean? And them men were so destroyed by that, and their masculinity made them realize, man, the only thing I can do now is get rid of myself out of this world. And Yahweh is going to allow those men revenge in the time to come for the evils that happened to them, man. He's going to allow a righteous alternative of those evils to be done upon the people that did those things to them, right? But that goes again, even me saying all of that, that just goes back into, again, the reality of how men are realistic when they see things in the world, man. We're realistic with the things that we see. We're not fake, right? We accept the reality of things. Verse 17, and the world passeth away. So all these movies and all these ways of, like, some of these men that are shown to be hyper masculine and all these different things in these movies, they're going to be screaming like little girls when all hell breaks loose. They're going to be looking stupid, man. They're going to look dumb in the times to come. They're not going to look like what you see them looking like now. They're not going to look like that. And the world passeth away and the lust thereof, all the things that people desire now, how many followers you got, or how many followers you got, or how many dollars you got, how many pounds you got, or what car do you drive? Even in the kingdom of heaven, when we got chariots, it's not good. No woman's going to be coming up just saying, what chariot do you drive? Or I drive the Benjamite 2011. Or I drive the Benjamite 3017 year. The 3017 plate, baby. You want to see? It's got chrome lights all around. I'll take you for a spin. I'm going to Mars anyway. You want to come and go for a ride to Mars with me, baby? We ain't gonna be doing none of that. It's not gonna be. Now we might go for a flight to Mars with our women, or a particular wife that we might want to go, but it's not gonna. That's not gonna be the reason why we get the woman. That's not gonna be the reason why. Whereas in this world, that's the reason why, right? And they got this term tricking, which is basically female prostitution. But they don't want to call it that because they want to try and have some. They got such an ego that they don't want to admit that they're a prostitute. So they want to say it's a finessing and all of that, right? Instead of just coming out straight with it and saying what it actually really is. Because they want to still think that they're keeping their dignity when they ain't, right? Verse 17, and the world passeth away and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of Yahweh abideth forever. Little children, it is the last time. This world's over, man. Really. And as ye have heard that Antichrist shall come, even now there are many anti-Hamashiachs, right? Whereby you know that it is the last time. And that's the way how these people are in this world, and how like much they are against Yahweh, and they just trying to make a fake reality for themselves. It's all based around them hating Yahweh Shai, right? And that's why they'll make a movie trying to make this hyper, overly done masculine character for the women that makes it like the world not even actually real. It's not actually real. Or they make these social media TV shows that are not real. They're staged and like rigged storylines, but it like makes women think that their life's supposed to be one certain kind of way, right? And that no matter what man they get, that man's supposed to always go out of his way to get them now this life. And if they see that the family doesn't have a nice enough house, right? If the family doesn't have a nice enough car, if the family doesn't live in a nice enough area, if the family doesn't have enough spare money to go on holidays, if the family doesn't have enough anything to make the family seem like it's being itself in a certain way, that it's always the man's fault, right? And that man needs to step himself up to get the family what the family needs. But then at the same time, if he actually does do that, he ain't gonna get no credit for it. He ain't gonna get no credit or no respect and have to be reverenced in any way because that's what he's supposed to do. That's what they'll say. And then if he's actually more handsome, if he's actually the more attractive than his own woman, right? he's still lucky to have her just because of what she looks like. That's this society, man. And it's really quite vexing when you actually really think about what this world is trying to tell men that they deserve. It's actually really quite vexing, man. It makes you be like, man, really, I'd rather women just stay the hell away from me then. I'd really not rather have any of them into the kingdom. It makes you probably want to be on that kind of mindset, which is the reason why Paul said the things that he said. There's a reason why Paul said the things that he said. He wasn't just no incel that hated women. And you know what? Since I've mentioned that, I'm gonna read that. I believe it's 1 Corinthians chapter 7. I want to read some of that, man. Okay, here we go. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 7. For I would that all men were even as I myself, but every man have his proper gift of God, one after this manner and another after that manner. I say therefore to the unmarried and widows, it is good for them if they abide even as I. So if you ain't got no one, it's better to stay like that, right? But if they cannot, verse 9, but if they cannot, let them marry, for it's better to marry than to burn. And what does it mean to burn? Just be overly lusted off, man. Because having overly lust upon your body can lead to you being a demon, right? Can lead to you being wicked, man. It can lead to a whole bunch of wickedness then. And unto the married I command, yet not I, but the Lord Yahweh, let not the wife depart from her husband. And the reason why he's saying it is because he said it's better to be unmarried. But he's saying if you're with somebody, then don't desire to be lit to leave them, right? Because ultimately that's going to lead to a woman. If you leave a woman, it's going to lead to her committing adultery, right? And unto the married I command, yet not I, but Yahweh, let not the wife depart from her husband, but, and if she depart, let her remain unmarried or be reconciled to her husband. So she ain't supposed to leave. A woman is supposed to try and think she can leave her man and then get back and then go back to the streets. No, you better be reconciled back to the man that you was with. Let not the wife depart from her husband, but if she depart, let her remain unmarried or be reconciled to her husband, and let not the husband put away his wife. And why is it saying that? Because then he's making his woman go and commit adultery, right? So as much as it's annoying to see the things and the things I've said, where it's like, oh, the whole thing that men are supposed to do in this world is annoying. The uneven, unbalanced way that it's supposed that they expect relationships to go in this world. Well, that still doesn't give us the right to just kick rocks, right? But then at the same time, if we think of it from the most heavy, highest level, if a woman is gonna make you fall away from Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, we know that Yahweh Shai said it's better to cut off your right hand, right? So it's better to cut off parts from your body, not literally, spiritually, right? Cut things off from your path, then end up getting destroyed, man. So again, there's balance to things. Verse 13, and the woman which have an husband that believeth not, and if he be pleased to dwell with her, let her not leave him. For the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife, and the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband. Else were your children unclean, but now they are holy, right? But if the unbelieving depart, let him depart. A brother or a sister is not under bondage in such cases, but have called us to peace. So if a woman's got an unbelieving man and he ends up just bouncing from her, right? I'm gonna use the woman example first. She's now in a spiritual sense not considered connected to that man anymore, right? But yet that doesn't give that woman the right to be an asshole to that man to make him want to leave her. She's supposed to still be a righteous woman, and vice versa with the man. Verse 16. For what knowest thou, O wife, whether thou shalt save thy husband, or knowest thou, O man, whether thou shalt save thy wife? Right, and that brings it a whole full circle, man. But I just wanted to bring that out anyway. I wanted to bring that out. That Paul was going into how it's better to ultimately not have When I wanted to find a part that he said you'll have trouble in the flesh, I couldn't really find that. Let me see if I can just type in flesh and then go to the book of Corinthians and see if I can see it in there. Okay. 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 28. But if thou marry, thou hast not sinned. And if a virgin marry, she have not sinned. Nevertheless, such shall have trouble in the flesh. But I spare you, and you being around women, you definitely have trouble in the flesh, man, because they can be very annoying, right? They can be very annoying, man. They almost like they think it's exciting or funny to try and see if they can get men angry, see if they can get men disturbed, right? It's almost like feels like a game to them because they don't really have no power in this world. So any place that they can find a cheap little amount of power, they'll think it's funny, right? And that's why women, when they get into arguments with people in general, they'll say, "What, are you mad? Are you mad?" Because they think it's funny. They think it's exciting to get people angry or mad, when really it's actually dangerous to do that. In reality, it's actually dangerous to do that, man. And when all hell breaks loose, trying to get people mad or leading to people into strife is actually going to be a very dangerous game to play, right? That's actually going to be a very costly, potentially costly situation to put yourself in, man. But I just wanted to go into that whole thing about the movie industry and how social media and all these different things, the entertainment world has gave people a fake version of reality, man, that they have actually trust in, man. And I'm going to end it there. Shalom to the elect, shalom.